I want to shout out a couple of members of my Facebook boxing group, Hatman Boxing, for suggesting a couple of potential opponents for Chris Eubank Jr.'s next fight. Now, there has been radio silence from the Eubanks since Eubank beat the Gale earlier on this year. And that's kind of disappointing because Eubank was saying that he wanted to fight like 3 times this year or something. He's only fought once so far. We're halfway through the year. Where's the second fight at? You know, it should be happening right about now, and then a third one in the winter. So unless he's going to have a couple of tickovers for the rest of the year, then it looks as though the 3-fight situation ain't going to happen. But the opponents suggested by members of my Facebook group were Jermall Charlo and Jarrett Hurd. I think both fights are great fights. Jermall Charlo's obviously a middleweight. I believe he's now been made, is it WBC regular champion, I guess you'd call it. That fight makes sense because, you know, they could put it on pay-per-view in the UK as they do with most of Chris Eubank Jr.'s fights. Eubank Jr.'s with PBC, you know, he's signed to Al Heyman, and Charlo is struggling for opponents, right? Because all the world champions in the middleweight division, are on DAZN. And Eubank Jr. has said that he can happily drop down a division, you know, drop down to 160 for the right fight. So to me, it makes sense. Chris Eubank Jr. versus Jermall Charlo. And by the way, I think it will be a fantastic fight. I would favor Jermall Charlo. I think Eubank Jr. is still a bit raw. And even though he is improving, I'm not sure he would have improved enough from a technical point of view to be able to defeat Jermall Charlo. But I think it'll be a good fight. I think it'll be competitive. Eubank Jr. has shown a good chin. He's shown plenty of tenacity and fitness and will to win. He's been out to America many, many times training in the Mayweather gym countless times. So even if the fight was in the United States, I think Eubank Jr. should be able to give a good account of himself. But I would favor Charlo in that one. I just think he throws tighter, more precise punches. So I'll be picking him there. As far as Eubank Jr. versus Jarrett Hurd, that's another fantastic fight. Obviously, Hurd will be coming up in weight and Eubank Jr. will be coming down in weight. But I don't think there's a massive difference between them in size. You know, I mean, people are going to think, well, Eubank Jr. is a much bigger guy. Maybe he's not a bigger guy at all. Maybe Hurd's the bigger guy. The methods that these fighters use to get down in weight, you know, artificially low, are so extreme that you can have a guy who is bigger than many people 2 weight divisions above him, you know, getting into the ring at light middleweight, because Jarrett Hurd is absolutely enormous at 154. So, yeah, I don't think it's a ridiculous fight. I actually think it's a very interesting fight, and I'd be more inclined to pick Eubank Jr. over Jarrett Hurd rather than Jermall Charlo. Yeah, Jarrett Hurd is wide open. He's slow. He does throw a lot of punches and he is strong, but all of his success so far has come at 154. Eubank Jr. I think would be bigger and stronger than most of the guys Hurd has been used to fighting. He obviously lost to J-Rock Williams recently, which, you know, wasn't really a surprise to me. I've never really rated Hurd that highly, but he is fan friendly. And Eubank Jr. is fan friendly. So yes, please. I'll be happy with Eubank Jr. versus Jarrett Hurd. And as I say, 160 pounds, Jermall Charlo doesn't really have many fights available to him. Yeah, unless he wants to cross the street. And by crossing the street, I'm not talking about signing with DAZN, but isn't Al Heyman willing to do some business? I mean, he sent Andy Ruiz obviously over to DAZN to fight AJ, but that was for, you know, crazy money, at least for Andy Ruiz, right? Andy Ruiz got paid, I can't remember what it was, is it 5 million, 6 million? Something like that, which is way more money than he's ever made before. And on top of that, he was a new recruit to DAZN, and he wasn't a DAZN, a new recruit to PBC. Sorry, a new recruit to PBC, and he wasn't a PBC cash cow, right? Charlo is kind of one of the main PBC guys. So it seems as though Al Heyman doesn't want to send him over to the zone to fight anybody. You know, that's the way Al Heyman tends to be with his main PBC fighters, the Wilders, the Charlos. I mean, even more recently with Luis Ortiz, that was a real scandal and a disservice to Luis Ortiz for his people to advise him not to take that AJ fight, particularly in light of how well Andy Ruiz did, you know. So, yeah, Ortiz, he was terribly advised. Must be kicking himself now. So, anyway, with that situation, with Heyman seemingly not allowing Charlo to go and fight any of his own fighters, he needs challengers, you know, he needs opponents, and Chris Eubank Jr. fits that bill. Yeah, he's got a famous name. He's just beat James DeGale. He's a world champion of sorts, you know, albeit the IBO variety. So, yeah, why not make Eubank Jr. versus Charlo? I'd definitely watch it, or Eubank Jr. versus Hurd, depending on what Hurd's doing. So, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Would you like to see those fights? How realistic do you think they are? And if they did happen, who would you be picking? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. It's happening, I'm out.
Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.